Hi, welcome back to our channel. Have you ever felt like you are correcting your children all day long, but it seems nothing is changing?
Yeah, you're taking away that toy and they're still arguing. You're maybe raising your voice and they're shutting down, or you're disciplining them and they're doing the same thing 5 minutes later. Maybe, like us, you are thinking that this parenting thing is a little harder than you thought at first, and you're not alone with that.
It might be by not doing more, but by doing it differently.
And at the Family Oasis, we've seen it over and over again in our own family, but also the many families we've been a part of, that correction without connection doesn't reach the heart, it just manages behavior.
And let's be honest, sometimes it's more about us soothing our own ego than shaping their soul.
We want to have kids who make us feel that we have it all together, like those little robots that make our lives easier and prove that we're good parents.
But that's not the goal. Children are not projects. They are a gift. They are image bearer. They're actually disciples in the making and not a reflection of our own pride. This video is not about parenting hacks or behavior control. It's about reordering things God's way.
Let me paint a picture we all know too well. Our child talks back. And how would they ever dare to do that? But it happens. And you tell them to stop and they roll their eyes. Storm off. You feel disrespected. You follow after them and tell them to stop, which they're not doing. Maybe you raise your voice and you hear them starting to cry. But it could also be that you are crying. And just like that, we lost the moment. Sounds familiar?
And in the end, you walk away and you are more disconnected than before. Until you take a break and you think about it and you realize that you have been trying to correct behavior instead of connecting to the heart.
What does the Bible show us? In Romans 2:4, it's written, it's His kindness that leads to repentance. Kindness doesn't mean a lack of boundaries, but before you correct, connect. And no, I do not mean that we need to connect to their heart before correction, but live a life of connection with them day in and day out, that when it's time to correct, our children know that we are for them.
Because if the relationship is strong, correction doesn't create distance, it actually builds trust. And that's the kind of parenting we're looking at. Not perfect, but rooted, real, and full of grace. And remember, parenting is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah. Will they still disobey? Of course. But by then, we build a foundation of trust.
So how to connect? First, learn the love language of your child, not just in theory, but in everyday life. What could it be? Physical touch, act of services, word of affirmation, gifts, or
Quality
time.
So be an apprentice of your child.
Is she always asking, would you play with me? Or maybe when you're returning from a trip, she is asking, did you bring back a gift for me?
Or does she lean in when you brush her hair? Or does he ask you for help with one of his tasks?
And love isn't just felt, it's learned. And when we understand their love language, we are now ready to fill up their tanks.
We parent not from pressure, but from overflow, not only when things go wrong, but especially when they go right.
Another way to create trust and connection with your child is to go on a one-on-one date. 20 to 30 minutes can be a game changer for the atmosphere in your home. And those small intentional times are very important because they create a sense of safety. They build trust You are basically saying to your child, I sit with you and I listen to you. I'm here for you. So important.
We made it a habit to take our kids out like individually and with each individual child once a month and keep it very easy, like a close by park, a close by cafe that you can reach. And because it's not really about the activity, but it's about the connection.
And to help you navigate the love language and the one-on-one date, we already made some full-on videos that will help you during this time. And of course, we will link them in the description below.
Don't miss them.
And why does this approach work? Correction without relationship brings resistance, but correction within connection brings transformation.
Connection builds identity, and connection rooted in love shapes character. Both are essential.
And if this video encouraged you, don't stop there. Wait for the next upcoming video where we will go deeper.
We'll walk with you through setting boundaries, discipling without yelling, and looking at your own life that you can parent more whole and healed. And if you found this video encouraging, join us weekly for practical and life-giving insights on this beautiful journey called parenthood. And if you have any questions, reach out because you're not alone. Until then, bye.